Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, as you can see behind me here, I've got a metal project that I'm working on, and I got another one leaned against my rack over there, another project I'm working on. And, you know, I didn't film this one right here because if I film every single thing I do, it just becomes repetitive. This is fairly simple. This is part one of two parts, and this one's complete, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But what we are going to take a look at today is the part two of this project, and it's nothing really too much to it. It's only it's a piece of ironwork that's about 11.5 feet long and about 46 inches tall, but it involves some really weird angles. And I've made this template, and I don't know if you can see this, but this template is complete from one side to the other, and we're going to be using this angle and this angle right here to create the piece that we need. It is going to have some decorative stuff like this going in the top part of it, and it's kind of busy looking, but I thought it would be interesting. You guys might want to see how that's done. And one thing about this is that I find this a bit of a challenge is when you make custom stuff like this, you're really hoping when you get to the job site that it just drops right in place. There's no adjustments, because after all, it's pretty permanent once you get it built. But anyways, it's a pretty interesting little project. I think you guys might enjoy that. Before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here with part one. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so basically what this is just an enclosure. It's about 11 feet long, and it's about 4.5 feet tall with a couple of 30-inch returns on there. Also have a gate in here. It's about 24-inch walk gate in here. But what makes it unique, or what they want to do with this, is they want to be able to put it up against the building and then remove it easily and move it out of the way to gain access. There's a couple of bifolding doors right here that go into this house. They want to be able to open up the bifolding doors, remove this unit, set it out of the way, and when they're done, put it back. It's a child-proof thing. They have a pool on the other side. They want to be able to keep their grandkids from getting to the pool area if the door is open. So a unique way that we're going to do that is on the very end right here, and I'll show you. It's a little slip method. I've made a little jig that's going to mount to the wall, and then this thing is going to slip over the top of it and be able to lift off and be able to carry it out of the way. Let me show you what this looks like, a couple brackets to go with it. So here they are. Now these are just custom-made brackets that I made that's going to be used for the job that we're doing. The piece that's welded on the iron itself is a piece of 3/16 by 1.5 inch flat plate, and you can see that I've got it backed up by some small 1/4 inch pieces there. And these buckets right here are the same thing. They're 1/8 inch by 2 inch material, and again a couple small pieces of 1/4 in there to give it some shim, and that worked out pretty good. Now here is this little protractor, I guess it's called. I'm not really sure. Got this thing at the Home Depot, paid about 50 cents for it. Not 50 cents, maybe a couple of bucks for it. Didn't know when I'd ever going to use it, but here's a perfect opportunity that it just goes to show you how inexpensive things are. This thing's marked at, there's 30 degrees, and half of 30 is 15. You can see both marks on each side of that indicator. And the 15 degree is what we're going to need to make this angle, I'm pretty sure. So I just set the fine slugger metal cutoff saw right at 15 degrees and made it. It was absolutely perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better. So then I went and cut the rest of them out, the ones that I needed, and I actually need 3 bars here. This is going to be a bottom rail and 2 top rails. So I went ahead and just cut out what I needed right here. By the way, that slugger saw is just amazing. That thing works really good. I really like the performance of it. Now these are the remaining 45s. I had to readjust it from 15 to 45 degrees so I can get the angles right. And here we go. Let's start tacking things together. And you know, once we get everything all tacked together, it's time to try to start assembling some of this stuff. You know, again, I was really worried about this angle right here. You know, it's just a template, and it's just too late. Once you start putting it together, you're just hoping for the best. Yeah, 3 pieces total. Like I said, you've got a bottom rail and 2 top rails. They all went together pretty good, though. Here, I just go ahead and I just welded them out completely right here. These ones all the way around. Yeah, once I did that, time to grind them all nice and smooth. You know, it's going to be seen, and you know, I didn't want to have those welds exposed. Well, here's the posts, getting those put in. You can see I only have an inch ground clearance off the bottom, and that's what the existing fence has. So that's all I'm doing right here. Well, got all 3 posts, welded into place, and it's actually time to move forward. Okay, so last night I basically got the frames put together, and before I closed shop last night, I was able to get this top rail on and nice and square and perfect. Working by yourself sometimes can be pretty difficult, especially when you got something with angles like this right here. It's really awkward for me to try to lay things down and get things to work. Everything is going to have to happen vertically like this. You can see I've got it shored up on every corner. And everything is just fit into place perfectly right now. This post on the end is kind of a sacrificial post. It's here only to support this end. These 2 posts are in permanently. I'm going to be putting pickets from this point all the way across right here. This end of the fence is going to be welded to an existing fence, so I don't need a post on this end. So I'm going to cut some pickets to go in here, maybe 3 or 4 of them. Once those are welded into place, then I can kick out that post, and I'll have this the way it's going to be. And I'll probably, just the way it is, go ahead and cut and install the pickets while it's up the way it is here right now. I think it's going to be easiest for me. It's kind of awkward to lay it down. It just doesn't work right. And also this little detail right here is what's going to be going on the very top right here. And I think, and then what I'm going to do is weld those all into place across the top, and then the top rail is going to go on top of that. So kind of awkward. I'm going to do everything the way it's standing right here, and hopefully I can get this thing in a position where we'll be close to be getting it done here today. So, hey, what fun would a project be if it was easy, right? More difficult, more challenging. It's always something with me. Let's do it. All right, so here I am. Had to get up on my welding table right here, and to get these this top rail, these 2 top rails, or at least this top rail, welded into position. I'm going to take a different route for the other one. But everything was somewhat in reach. Here I am on the ground again, a little bit overhead, but all in all, that worked out pretty good. I had a little trying to figure out the best place to put that center post, but anyways, got them all welded in. Now it's time to cut the pickets. Once again, I'm just experimenting, getting a few of them cut to be sure that they're going to work the right size. And you can see I got the first 3 in there. Now I'm cutting this temporary post out, get that thing out of the way. This thing's really, it was just a little tack weld. It sure wasn't much, and got it off there, and I was able to just ground it down nice and flat and put that last picket in place where it needs to go. And you can see I'm using a 2x4 for spacing right there. Once I got it in, it's welded in, and I just from that point on, I just thought, I think it's going pretty smooth right here. I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting the rest of the pickets. Now you can see I had like 40 or 50 or something like that of these things, so it went pretty good. Got them all cut exactly the same, and you can see I just stacked them right in there, and it was a nice tight fit, which worked out really good. And I don't usually fabricate vertically like this. You guys may have seen most of the time I do lay in flat, and I use spacer bars, and that works out really good. But because of the angles on this thing, it wouldn't lay flat, and so I thought, hey, I'll just do it standing up right here. And believe it or not, that worked out really good. It was kind of comfortable, one piece at a time, and worked out really good. And what's really amazing is we got down right to the very end, and usually you have to back off 4 or 5 pickets and kind of move them around for spacing so it doesn't look awkward, because they never line up perfectly. This one lined up absolutely perfect, and that was amazing. So far this project is moving along, and I've had no mistakes or no errors, and everything seems to be running very smoothly. Now that's pretty unusual for me. There's always an issue, there's always a mistake, there's always something wrong. But anyways, you can see just welding these things out. Now, a lot of guys I see out there only weld 2 sides of the pickets, and they leave that one side open. That creates rust. It gets inside and rusts it out faster. And I'm sure that's because, it's just production welding, and they just need to get panels. But I think the Home Depot is that way. But anyways, I like welding them all the way around. It looks better, works better, lasts longer. And so that's what I'm doing right here, just getting things finished up in that department. And ultimately, when this is done, I'm going to take it down and actually work from the ground, because the rest of the work is up on top right there. It's probably going to be easier. Yeah, and you can see here it is. I'm just now starting to put in the decorative pieces. Alright, so once I got all the pickets done, there it is on the ground. And once I figured out how these decorative pieces go, there is somewhat of a pattern to it. Everything went really nice and smooth. Once I got all those welded on, put the top piece on, fit perfectly, and this job turned out really good. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.